All right. Hello, everyone, and now welcome to a game between Happy versus FoCuS. This game taking place here on Lost Temple LV. Ignore the comments in the channel. I believe Wild Striker said that before I even had the replay queued up. I think a patch was released for WarCraft 3, and because of that, I had to quickly launch the replay without downloading the update. Otherwise, this game would not be viewable any longer. Anyways, FoCuS spawning as the blue blue orc player, excuse me, at the 3 o'clock position. Meanwhile, down south, Happy spawning as the yellow undead. Undead versus Orc 1v1 matchup here on Lost Temple with a bunch of items available to the Blade Master if he chooses to go inside of this Lost Temple here. We do see a Dreadlord first, though, coming across from Happy. Not your typical run-of-the-mill strategy whatsoever, so a Dreadlord first from Happy. Meanwhile, we are looking at a Farseer first from FoCuS. Two very different opening strategies. This is a tech to tier 2 before Barracks and War Mill, so FoCuS was very well set on getting that tech to tier 2. Meanwhile, Happy quickly scouted out this location here, realized that it was not the starting location, and said, you know what, I'm gonna try and set up an expo quickly. All right, in comes an Acolyte. Acolyte gonna join in on the fight here, summon up a Ziggurat as well. Sleeping on the job is one Forest Troll Berserker. Forest Troll Berserker, well, can continue to sleep on the job there, as his sleep should be coming to an end soon. All right, meanwhile, hello, how you doing? Ogre Warrior about to get taken down as well. Skeletal Minion now going to be doing some scouting as we see the Ziggurat here about halfway done being summoned. Farseer being brought into the center portion of the map, trying to clear out these relatively easy creep camps. You're going to see this Forest Troll Trapper taken down. Farseer may try to swing by, get a little bit of healing, no real healing from that Fountain of Health, and go after this other Forest Troll Berserker creep camp. The Forest Troll Berserker creep camp is generally easier to take out for the Farseer because of the Spirit Wolves and their normal damage against this medium armor Forest Troll Berserker and Trapper. Take down those targets quickly, picks up a Claws of Attack +4 again, and now with +8 damage, gonna wander around, perhaps try and do a bit of harassment. Meanwhile, down south here, we're looking at the Dreadlord clearing out the entrance to the Lost Temple here, as the Nerubian Tower is already nearly done being upgraded. Haunted Gold Mine. Well, Haunted Gold Mine now starting as well, as Happy is looking to get that early economic advantage. Nerubian Tower already online here. Dreadlord coming across to defend, and I believe the Nerubian Tower, is he actually microing between these two targets? Well, there goes one, as the Farseer does summon up a new set of Spirit Wolves. Back home for FoCuS, his tech to tier 2 is nearly done, and we could perhaps be looking at bestiaries already. That would be an incredibly aggressive bestiary. Perhaps even going for Wind Riders early before his opponent has any opportunities to get any real anti-air. I don't see a graveyard. Happy has invested a lot in, well, there's that graveyard now, but Happy has invested a lot into his economy so far, and well, that economy can become very fragile, as Happy may be reluctant to rely on Spirit Towers in order to be able to fend off against any air units. There is one bestiary, there's that second bestiary being placed down, as the Farseer at level 2 wants to rack up some damage, do something here, but has to handle this carefully, especially as the Dreadlord could easily get asleep right here. FoCuS's Farseer summons up some Spirit Wolves to make sure that it has a way out or a way to wake up, as you see that the Spirit Wolves are trying to move around here. There is another round of that there, as the Farseer are going to try and break its way free, unable to get out. Scroll of Town Portal forcing that hand already. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 1, Scroll of Town Portal already back here. Perhaps we're going to look at a healing salve. Yes, we do, as the, well, Wind Riders are already being trained up. This has been scouted out by Skeletal Minion, so I'm assuming that once this graveyard is done, we are going to be looking at some Spirit Towers, one for each location. Otherwise, those Acolytes, well, we know what's going to be happening to them. Tauren Chieftain now going down after this Ogre Warrior creep camp. should be able to finish it off. 4 Stroll Berserkers here. There's a Ring of Protection +4. For some reason, the Tauren Chieftain's not holding on to that. And Tauren Chieftain really benefits. Strength heroes really benefit from that additional armor, just like agility heroes really benefit from additional hit points, such as that Pure Up of Vitality. Dreadlord does get to level 3 for Happy, and we do now see level 2 carry on Swarm, as the Dreadlord could try and go after this Fountain of Health here. Going after one Null Overseer. Wind Riders are in position, and we could see some big picking on some of those ghouls. Ghouls down to 53 hit points, able to back away, trying to go after low hit point units constantly, as we're going to see one ghoul perhaps taken down. There goes one ghoul. Skeletal minions could also get poked apart here. There goes another, or another ghoul could get taken down. How come that ghoul isn't focused down? There it goes. Finally taken down there. Another ghoul down to 21 hit points. Farseer could come back around, get in an easy shot on that ghoul. Wait for it. There it goes, giving level 2 to the Tauren Chieftain. Raiders are already out and about as well. Wind Riders throwing those, well, non-envenom spears, doing a bit of poke damage as the transition to Raiders has started. Skeletal minions are making their way across to the Great Hall to try and stop any economy issues here, as the Wind Riders about to poke down one of those ghouls down to dead. It gets taken down, and now we're looking at perhaps the Spirit Tower gonna get a little bit of pressure. All right, Tomb of Relics also gonna get pressured down as well, as Happy wants to get that item shop going for a little bit of or more of that home field advantage. All right, Raiders are out. I believe Pillage is researching, and with ghouls trying to retreat back here, Crypt Fiends desperately wanted to be able to web down those Wind Riders. All right, a couple of ensnares go down as well. That's going to be a very dead one ghoul there. Another ghoul going to get taken down as well, as Crypt Fiends are also getting taken out. Happy is on the receiving end of some divide and conquering with those ensnares, making it very easy for the FoCuS Tauren Chieftain and Farseer to get experience, but now being forced to back up again. We can now also look FoCuS getting up an Orc Burrow, Great Hall, transferring some peons over as the tech to tier 3 has started. All right, are the Raiders going to go after this Null Overseer creep camp? That's the question. Going straight after the first Null Warden, and Null Warden's getting a couple of purges in. And with the medium armor, the Null Overseers deal more damage to the Raiders, while everything else deals a little bit less, as the Raiders take reduced piercing damage. All right, Wind Riders going after different targets again and again. Farseer purposely pulling the Null Overseer away, allowing the Tauren Chieftain to regenerate some hit points while all this goes down. Dreadlord sitting at level 3, well, clearing out this Rock Golem creep camp. There is a Death Knight now getting trained up, as the tech to tier 3 and Halls of the Dead has started. 43 supply for Happy compared to 50 supply for FoCuS. FoCuS has more gold in the bank, a larger army, but I guess a little bit less on hero levels. Wind Riders now making their way over. Crypt Fiends are nearby. They want to web down. There's one web, and it pulled it over close. All right, there goes a carry-on swarm. Skeletal Minion is going to try and swarm that Wind Rider. Wind Rider down to 98 hit points, down to dead. Scroll of Town Portal retreats back away, but does get level 3 on that Farseer with that kill there. We're still looking at more Wind Riders getting added in. Stronghold nearly done. FoCuS sitting at 54 supply now, as the Dreadlord Death Knight army on the move. Tauren Chieftain also has an Ankh of Reincarnation already. I guess a little glimpse of that ultimate ability, being able to jump back into the action, even if it is with less hit points and mana. Ogre Lord gonna get ensnared here. Who's gonna get the final shot off? Farseers and right here nearby, the Wind Riders are just gonna be too much, able to burst that down as the Tauren Chieftain gets to level 3. Hood of Cunning now giving the Farseer even more damage with intelligence and agility. Tauren Chieftain could also use the bonus intelligence as well, perhaps trying to go for level 2 Shockwave. Wind Riders are able to poke across pretty easily there, as we are getting the Envenom Spears now. Now, Envenom Spears, that poison does actually stack from different targets, as the Goblin Zeppelin gonna be dropping inside the back in this location. One Spirit Tower, one Nerubian Tower, and well, gonna be a lot of damage is what we're having here, as in comes the Goblin Zeppelin Raiders. Here we are, here we go. Spirit Towers are getting engaging and going after those Acolytes. One Acolyte down, two Acolytes already down, the third Acolyte already down, as the Scroll of Town Portal now coming back across. Tauren Chieftain getting sleeping on the job, now getting tossed up into the air as the Wind Riders, one Wind Rider unable to make it, and the Haunted Goldmine actually stays alive. Haunted Goldmine was being pressured a lot, but ends up staying alive barely, with the Acolytes repairing that Haunted Goldmine right there. Additional Acolytes training up as well, FoCuS taking this opportunity while on the other side of the map to clear out difficult creep camps. Rock Golem creep camp taking quite a bit of damage. It gets taken down. We're looking at the rest of these units getting taken out as well. 4 Stroll Berserkers all down as the Tauren Chieftain retrains to Stomp, picking up a Toma retraining from that shop. 63 over 72 supply. Wind Riders with 1-0 upgrades. Where else are they going to try and creep? That is the question. Both sides running up on multiple bases, but I am surprised by FoCuS's outpost or expo right here. Not very well defended and very close to Happy. You gotta believe. Thank you for the sub. Thanks for keeping up the great work. Well, thanks for watching, and thanks for the sub. This expo could easily get pressured and poked down. Now, we are looking at the Wind Riders making their way over. Perhaps we're going to see a little bit of poking again. And no, going to be going after this this Granite Golem creep camp off to the side. All right, there goes a quick ensnare, trying to pull some of those targets away. Red Drake, Farseer, what is happening? Gonna perhaps wait for the units to start retreating back. And as it's retreating back, well, a classic maneuver by Orc players. All right, that Granite Golem pretty much giving, Scepter of Mastery, a quick charm ready, consumable item ready to be used, perhaps trying to take in a destroyer that has mana. That would actually be a very big surprise there, as the Dreadlord quickly finishes off a whole bunch of peons who were trying to work with the help of a Frost Nova too. Wind Riders coming off to the side here. Raiders are right there. Great Hall is about to, well, have a great fall, as the Raiders are now ready to engage. Wind Riders perhaps going to start poking. What is going to go down here? Farseer still has that Scepter of Mastery. We see a quick sleep there. There's a Carrion Swarm into the Wind Riders. 2-0 upgrades. Both sides poking apart. We're looking at a Scroll of Healing being used as well. No Scepter of Mastery onto any of the destroyers that I see yet, as we are looking at level ups across the board. There goes down a Stomp there, stunning down a bunch of ghouls. Level 2 now on the Lich here, as the Dreadlord looks to back away. Tauren Chieftain ready to put his foot out again. Does get another Stomp here, and this battle FoCuS down to 46 supply, but it looks as though there's not that many Crypt Fiends left. Well, 2 or 3 more Crypt Fiends. A couple of ghouls could easily get taken down. Tauren Chieftain throws down another Stomp. There goes another couple of units as well. 43 supply now compared to 43, and an Obsidian statue was taken by FoCuS. There was that Scepter of Mastery. Wasn't sure if he wanted that mana and hit points from the Obsidian statue, or perhaps if he would want a destroyer. Turns out the Obsidian statue worked out extremely well, as Happy is now down to 41 supply while trying to build up some gargoyles, Obsidian statues, and training up quite a bit back at home. All right. Tiny Great Hall to replace the one that was lost. Turning off the Fog of War now. There's still the Red Drakes here, but some great fighting overall. Wind Rider could have just parked itself at that Fountain of Health. Obsidian statue, oddly enough, is not going to be able to get any additional hit points while out on the battlefield. We've seen so often the Obsidian statue partnered with the Death Knight and that Unholy Aura. And Unholy Aura, well, gives regeneration to all units, including mechanical. So that Obsidian statue may end up becoming a bit more fragile, as it doesn't have that natural recovery when partnered alongside the Undead Death Knight. Gargoyles now looking to join in on the fight as well. We can see that 62 to 80 fast melee damage. Gargoyle is able to do large amounts of damage here. Destroyer not getting ensnared down. Not quite sure what that was about. There is a carry-on swarm ripping through all of that right there as the units are retreating back again. Just a tactical hit and run as Happy resets a little bit. Now back up to 61 supply compared to FoCuS's 56. Rebuilding that Great Hall, well, costing quite a bit. Also retraining all of those peons as FoCuS's economy is a little bit in shambles still. Meanwhile, Tauren Chieftain, does he have a tiny Great Hall here? No, I do not believe so. Wind Riders spot out that the Expo is still, well, fairly well guarded. 4 to 5 peons for a TP. Probably worth it. Well, the loss of gold during the mining and also the retraining and the peons also give some experience, as opposed to when your opponent uses a Scroll of Town Portal, well, it doesn't give any experience at all. If we see the Dreadlord get to level 5, we will know that it is definitely worth it, as we will be looking at level 3 carry-on swarm tearing through those Wind Riders. Hero levels are going to be key. If the Farseer can get to level 5 first and the Tauren Chieftain can get to level 5 first, that will be a big advantage. Carry-on Swarm still ripping on through. Units trying to retreat back. Frost Nova slowing down those Wind Riders as the Gargoyles are going after. Chain Lightning bouncing across here. Farseer could be in a little bit of trouble. Still backing away. There are some Shadow Wolves trying to get some damage onto some of those other units, as well as the Gargoyles, for some reason, now finally going to take down that one Goblin Zeppelin that was just stationed right there. All right, couple of or a Troll Bat Rider here. This well, the Destroyer was actually upgraded to the Obsidian Statue was actually upgraded to a Destroyer, interestingly enough. And are we gonna actually have a fight between these two here? Wind Riders, remember, 2-0 upgrades, but also has that very, oh, there goes the Ensnare, and well, Happy comes over to protect. I think FoCuS could have gotten a couple of ensnares earlier onto some of those destroyers to try and divide and conquer, but now the Undead's army is just way too much together. Dreadlord gets up to level 5. Tauren Chieftain wants to throw down a stomp. There goes a Death Coil or a Frost Nova carry-on swarm. Healing Scroll was also used there. Both sides fighting their way through. Bat Riders currently asleep. We're looking at the Troll or the Wind Riders trying to poke down some of those units. Perhaps going to turn back around. We're looking at a nearly dead Wind Rider here as the Troll Bat Riders going to try and take down some of these units in the air. All right, there's some more suicides and sacrifices across the board. 58 supply compared to 50. Who's winning out? Troll Wind Riders. Chain Lightning bouncing around. Dreadlord trying to get away. Well, Lich gets up to level 3. Tauren Chieftain is sitting at level 5. There's another sleep at the job again as the Wind Riders are retreating back once more. Are we going to turn back around, try to poke across those destroyers, as the destroyers are the weaker ones here? Farseer gets up to level, or gets taken down, but remember, it does have that Ankh of Reincarnation transferred over and will be back up again. Here we are, here we go, and now ready to continue that fight once more. That transfer at the last second, really worth it there, as we're looking at another stomp go down. All right, Chain Lightning trying to bounce across more units. Lich about to get taken down. Troll Bat Rider is still right there. Wind Rider is still right there, trying to finish off more of those units, as the, well, Obsidian Statue is taken down as well. Tauren Chieftain sitting at level 5. Wind Rider gets taken out, and this is a bloodbath between the two. Who is coming out on top? FoCuS not retraining, and that could be the problem. If FoCuS isn't retraining his units, then he is going to be, well, backlogged in terms of yeah, just backlogged. He's sitting on 1,000 gold and low on lumber, actually. That is the limiting factor for him to try and train up more Wind Riders. Remember, there was never, ever a barracks. So without any barracks, the only 2 production buildings that FoCuS has been these bestiaries. Meanwhile, Happy has been able to go off of dual crypts and also this slaughterhouse, being able to train up more units quickly as well. Back off to the north. Well, Happy looking to finish off this this Ogre Lord and picked up a Cloak of Flames. That will be a useful item. Meanwhile, FoCuS is coming across into the center, trying to find some easy targets, taking down a couple of Happy's Gargoyles as they're engaging on the top left corner. All right, we see a couple of destroyers here as well. Farsi are going to try to come across, perhaps going to get a little bit of poke damage onto some of these targets. There goes well, the Obsidian Statue absorbing quite a bit of damage. Tauren Chieftain does have, well, movement speed bonus to try and catch up to the destroyer, but, well, still not enough. Death Knight also with some movement speed bonus as well. Coming back around, a couple of ghouls. Well, Happy has known that FoCuS is not really defending this expo very much, so those ghouls may be able to, well, just shut down mining right there. Meanwhile, the Shadow Wolves, well, devour magic, quickly taking them out of commission and also giving mana to those destroyers. This air game, this air tactic working out well, and as we look at a Shade keeping track of Happy now, those wolves are not going to be able to, well, easily attack. One Wind Rider continuing to poke apart. There goes one ghoul down, trying to focus down these units. Tauren Chieftain and Farsi are both sitting at level 5, but kind of stalled out as the Death Knight is getting some more experience, as is the Lich. If the Death Knight gets to level 5, well, the hero level advantage is going to shift drastically. Meanwhile, we're looking at a ghoul with Ghoul Frenzy, able to run around pretty quickly. Does end up getting taken down here, but the army size of FoCuS, well, 63 compared to 71. Happy still has the advantage. Main gold mine is mined out for FoCuS. Main gold mine for Happy, well, remember there was some harassment earlier on, still nearly mined out now. What are both of these sides looking to do? FoCuS wants to somehow close the door on this game. 2-0 upgrades compared to the 1-0 upgrades on these or 1-1 upgrades, excuse me, on the destroyers and the destroyers, gargoyles, and, well, no real Crypt Fiends yet. All right. Oh, is the Farseer going to get caught out in the open? That is going to be a tough spot to be in. Farseer trying to run around there. Dreadlord could have easily just slept the Farseer, and I think that may be the plan. Just try to get the Farseer to sleep. You can see that FoCuS's plan was to set up a tiny Great Hall here, and as the Tauren Chieftain now tries to make its way back over. Tauren Chieftain is separated from the fight, and this is going to be a horrible, horrible position to be in. There's a Carrion Swarm, but it falls just a little bit short. Troll Bat Riders are right here. Both sides need to engage. Farseer trying to, well, back himself into a corner. There's a Chain Lightning thrown back around as all of these units are fighting themselves in a corner there. They're all in a corner, so that Carrion Swarm really ripped them all through, and that is gonna be the game right there. A very, very, well, a very impressive fight overall. But really, the Carrion Swarm, Frost Nova, destructive power against all of those flying units that clumped together was a bit too much. It looked like FoCuS had some opportunities, but FoCuS really just got caught out of position trying to set up that expo on the bottom right-hand side of the map. Not quite sure why he never considered the top right-hand side of the map, as that would have been further away, and then just set up one watchtower. At least make your opponent have to run over to find and get to you, and that could have been a very, very good play. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Unfortunately, since I am, well, for some reason, the final score bar didn't load up. So yeah, just let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below.